This is day 2 of $1 million in 14 days, and we added $57.8 thousand in order revenue yesterday for a 2-day total so far of $112,000 against the $1 million goal. Today, we're going to take a bit of an aside to address an important question that some of you may be asking. Why are we targeting and pacing at a negative contribution outcome for the month? I'm glad you asked. There are 2 main reasons that a brand's objective for their .com business at any point in time may be to drive top-line volume at a negative contribution margin outcome. Those 2 reasons are lifetime value and broader distribution. First, lifetime value. This brand produces 34.4% increase in revenue within the first 60 days following purchase, and the value of a new customer more than doubles over a 12-month period. We can visualize this play out when we look at cohorts over time for first-time customers for this brand. This chart here is showing contribution margin dollars from each monthly cohort of new customers since the beginning of last year. We know exactly how much repeat behavior to expect out of these cohorts, along with understanding the brand's cash position to know how hard we can push on new customer acquisition and still allow these cohorts to turn positive prior to year 2. This has allowed us to massively increase new customer acquisition volume over the recent months. Here's another way to visualize this. Here's a waterfall chart of last year's June new customer cohort. What you can see is after cost of goods and all variable costs are taken out, as well as backing out taxes and expected return rate from these new customers, as well as ad spend, that cohort is nearing break even within the first 60 days after their initial purchase. Then when we zoom out to a broader 12-month LTV, each customer acquired in that June cohort has contributed $12 of contribution margin since their initial acquisition. In addition to LTV, the second factor here is distribution. This brand does not only sell on .com, they also sell on Amazon and are available in retailers. Each of these sales channels functions at a different level of profitability and contribution for the overall business. And we also know that there is a halo effect impact of the spend being shown here on the .com store that is driving sales on Amazon and retailers in addition. Here's an example of an incrementality test for another brand that we ran for meta acquisition campaigns, measuring the impact of meta acquisition spend across .com, new customer and returning customer .com revenue, and Amazon revenue. And what this shows is that there's additional revenue impact outside of just the .com initial contribution. So what we do is we then take this incrementality factor result from this geo-holdout test, use it to set the ROAS target for that specific channel and tactic, and then apply that factor everywhere in Statless reporting so that we can view the true incremental ROAS on a day-to-day basis. So the plan for this month has been built within the context of the contribution from each of these sales channels and getting to the overall business objective. And a deep and very specific understanding of the LTV and broader distribution factors allow us to be as aggressive as possible in growing market share for this brand. This was day 2. Let's see where we land tomorrow on our path to $1 million in 14 days.